How you doing? So today I have brought out my compilation book, My Nice Little Town by Tatiana Bogema Stolova compilation book. I have gone through and watched flip throughs and marked down what pages go to what books in here. I did that, but it's sort of embedded in another video somewhere in my playlist. And when someone asked me for it, I said, oh, it's in my playlist. And they told me they couldn't find it. Well, I can't find it either. So here's a standalone video that just goes through this book. Okay, this is Tatiana Bogema Stolova. Books 4 through 11 are the ones with the mice in it. Books 1, 2, and 3 don't have the mice in it. They're just little tiny homes, and they're cute, but she doesn't include this in the compilation, and they're not as popular. We all like the ones with the mice in it. So, starting with book 4, and this is a big book. So, here's the first page in book 4. It's this little pumpkin house, and I'm gonna bring you out just a little bit more so you can see the entire page. All right. So this is page. Now I'm going to go through this page by page. You can speed me up or slow me down because I do have one that's out of place, or one or two that's out of place. So I want to make sure to get those. And I'm not going to flip it. I mean, you can see what page this is. I'm not going to turn it for the landscape pages, but so far it's pretty much all houses with a few mice. Here's a mouse in a shoe store. Wishing well. This is all still book 4. Painting the house. I love this page. I keep meaning to do this one. I have this one marked for hashtag I'm doing this one. Now this is February of 2025, and so far this is her only compilation book of the Nice Little Town series, but since then she's put out 5 more Nice Little Town books, so we should see another compilation book coming soon. So we're still in book 4. And as I said, feel free to slow me down or speed me up. Whatever works for your system. I was counting this in my collection as one book, and then I realized that's sort of cheating. This is actually 7 books, so they're just bound up as one. So now I count these little mice look a little different, don't they? So I now count this as 7 different books in my collection. This is the first page that I have in book 5. So book 4 ends with this wonderful full Christmas page of them ice skating. And a lot of you have done this page. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's the last page of book 4. So now we're on to book 5, where it's summery now. And he's hauling cherries on his back. And there's a mousey here playing with his floaty in the pool, in the pond. All right, so book 5. And if you're flipping through with me and you have a page that I don't, that's because I have one out of place in this book. So don't worry, put a note in it, stick a bookmark in it, and we'll probably find it later. Or you may have some out of place too. These are Amazon printed, so they can make mistakes in their print shops. Book 5 is adorable. I really like book 5. That's when she really starts taking off with the mice. It's a sailboat. Every time I look through this, I see pages I don't remember. I love this one of her painting. Still in book 5. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this little bug is peeing on his foot. And they're laughing at him. This is a funny page. Okay, and this is the last page of book 5. So book 5 ends with them playing on this camping trip, playing with these mushrooms, and morel mushrooms and chanterelles and all that. So this is the mice camping page. And then the first page that I have of book 6 is this one, with the little mouse smiling with the pointy house. All right, last page of book 5. First page of book 6. All right, so now we're in book 6. Sitting on a carrot, that's cute. There's a pretzel on top of that. Oh, it's a little cafe. A lot of you have done this one. I like it. Still in book 6. Teaching about cats. Still in book. This one is so neat. I can't wait to do this one. Oh. Okay, this one that says coffee, where he's sleeping in the little tin here, and it says coffee, that's the end of book 6. So last page of book 6, the coffee tin. Okay. First page of book 7, and you can tell because the line art's a little different in book 7. She experimented with some different line art, and it starts with the pharmacy. So we're in the book 7. The lighter line art would make it easier to cover these lines. So if you wanted to give, if you like the lines being covered, and or if you like a more, watercolor or natural look, this book would be good. This is Amazon printed paper, but it's a step up from the bottom tier. It's got good tooth to it. A lot of people use pencils in these. I use alcohol markers with pencils on top. Make sure you put a paper behind it if you use markers, because they will bleed through to the next page. But anything works in here as long as you're very careful with water. I like this one. Still in book 7. This is one of my focuses for this year's Nice Little Town books, because obviously I haven't done very many. Now, this is book 7, but for some reason I put 4. It's not 4. It's book 7. This is book 7. We're still in book 7. This one's great, where they're making ice cream. I don't know what these little things are. Little sheep caterpillars. See, we even have some underwater stuff in these books. But this underwater scene is the last one in my book for book 7. This is the last page. So he's underwater with his suit, and he's pumping air to him, looking at the fish. Book 7. And now we start book 8, which is a little bit heavier line line width, but not as heavy as the former books, as you can see. And this is the steampunk one. Some of you may have this as a standalone, but book 8 was, she had a steampunk theme. And there's less mice in it and more of the steampunk contraptions and houses. Still book 8. This one looks a little different, drawn a little differently with some cross hatching and stuff, but it's still book 8. If you like metals and reflective surfaces, this is a good one for you to practice that on. See what I mean? Now, this is still book 8. We're finally in an interior, but this traveler, we first see these travelers show up in book 8. And you'll see the traveler in subsequent pages as well. But there's some sort of like steampunk town that we get into. This is a fun one. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. Is it? Sorry, these 2 pages are stuck. Okay, this is the last one of book 8 as he's voyaging off into the world. So the steampunk one, last page, book 8. Now book 9 has about the same line weight. This is the underwater one. This is the mermaid one, right? This is the one that we all know and love and probably have as a standalone. It's so different from our others. It's being underwater. It's the first one I did in this book. It's very experimental. I love underwater scenes, so book 9 is one of my favorites. I believe this is the book that has a page that's out of place that shows up later, but we'll see. Still book 9. Another one I did. I was still trying to figure out how to color in these books, so I'm pretty heavy-handed in these first pages. Still book 9. This one's very different. I love it. And here we start book 10. So book 9 is all underwater. So if you encountered another page in there that I didn't have, that's the one that's out of place. I do have one that's out of place coming up. But book 9's all underwater. Book 10 starts here with the lovely little lady mouse drinking tea with a heart on her cup and her little ladybugs playing, and yeah, a very cozy, sweet page. This is the beginning of book 10. And here Tatiana is really having fun with mice in the scenes, and so this is a great book. I know this is a lot of you's favorite one too, because it's just every image has a mouse doing something in it. The yoga mice. That's me trying to do a pull-up. Oh, that was so embarrassing in school. Whenever they'd test us, they had what they called the presidential fitness test, and we had to do pull-up. I could never do a pull-up. No, the girls just had to hang. They had to hang with their chin above the bar. I couldn't do that either. Still book 10. Still book 10. It's cute. She started really getting good with her mice. So expressionful, and she could really make them in action. Really just finding her own. Excuse me while I put a bookmark in that one. I have something I want to do this one for. Okay, we are still book 10. The circus mice training. Cowboy mice. Now this is 9, so you might have encountered this in book 9. This is out of place in mine. And this is out of place in mine. This is also book 9. So anything with the mermice in it, undersea, is book 9. But they were inserted in between 2 books. So the last page of book 10 is the cowboy mice. These cowboy mice riding a grasshopper is the last one in book 10. At least in my book. The reason I'm going through this page by page is yours might be out of place, out of order. Book 11. Okay, the first page I have for book 11 is got the hot air balloon. Okay, so we're at book 11, the last book. So this should go to the end of the book, but I am going to go through page by page just in case anything was out of place. He looks terrified. Book 11, you start seeing a little bit more, some more fantasy creatures being introduced. That looks like steampunk, but it's still book 11. Yeah, you start getting this submarine thing. Book 11 is a little bit of a compilation of a lot of stuff. I love these underwater ones. Now, these are underwater, but they're not mermice. The mermice are all book 9. Here's our traveler, book 11. Here's our traveler, book 11. I like the traveler. You see some mice from other cultures in this one. Puppet show. They're on a train. This is the first train you see. Although I think there's a Christmas train. Mexican mice, or Bolivia or somewhere. Crystal ball. This is book 11. It's like Peru. Here you see, now I have a question mark on this one. I couldn't find this one. So I don't know if it's the last book. It's the last page in the book, and it might be an extra because it's got a little bit of everything in there. It's got, you know, a bakery mouse. It's got a steampunk contraption. It's got the mermice. So I don't know if this is just an additional page for this compilation book, but I didn't find it in the other books. So if you know where this one's from, let me know. All right, great. I hope that was helpful. Those were the book breaks in this compilation of Nice Little Town Mouse Collection, books 4 through 11 by Tatiana Bogema Stolova. You have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.